Hi everyone, thank you for watching my presentation. The topic of this presentation is how to design effective resumes, cover letters, and portfolios. So if you're somebody who's in the market for a job or just looking to kind of bulk up one of those three things, hopefully you can find something useful in this presentation. The purpose of this presentation is to help anybody who is seeking a job um, be effective at creating either a resume, cover letter, portfolio, or all three. The audience, this presentation is intended for anyone struggling to create a professional and marketable resume or portfolio. And though the information presented is primarily meant for job seekers, it's my hope that anyone in the job market could take away a few helpful tips to help them enhance their job seeking strategies. So we'll start with resumes. Most employers don't spend much time looking at a resume, usually just like a little under a minute. So to have a resume that really stands out to an employer, here's a few tips. A resume should be 1 page long and in PDF format. It should have a simple font and layout to it. It should contain contact information, your career objectives, work experience, education, references, and a brief section with your personal information, including things like hobbies and interests. So, your contact information should be located at the top of the resume, and it should include a good phone number and email address. For the career objectives section, you should explain specifically the type of job that you want. And in the work experience section, you should start with the most recent job that you've had and explain why the skills required for that job could relate to the job that you're applying for. A good resume objective states your career goals. It can be as simple as stating your desired job title, or it can show where you've been and where you hope to go in your career. It's usually listed at the top of your resume and is typically about 1 or 2 sentences long. So now we will move on to cover letters. The main purpose of a cover letter is to interest an employer in reading your resume. So a good cover letter introduces you to an employer through a personalized explanation of your qualifications and your interest in a position. So while the resume shares all the technical details um, and uh, skills and work experience, a cover letter kind of helps give insight into your soft skills and things like attitude and your motivation. A good cover letter should be about 1 page in length and in PDF format. It should be divided into 3 parts: an introduction, the body of the letter, and a conclusion. So the introduction should provide basic details about who you are and why you want the job. It's good to include the title of the job that you're applying for and why you think you'd be a good fit for that position. The body of the letter should include a purpose and things like your values and goals and your qualifications. The conclusion of the letter should sign off with a professional closing phrase, such as like sincerely, and then should include your signature and type name. So now we will move on. So a good cover letter, again, it should, you know, stand out to the employer and tell them who you are and why they want you to work for them. So now we will move on to portfolios. So while a resume is kind of covers like the hard facts of who you are and your job skills and history, A portfolio is really more of a visual representation of all those things. One of the main benefits of having a good portfolio or an e-portfolio is that it allows you to not simply claim that you have skills or abilities. It provides the opportunity to showcase specific projects that speak on your behalf about those skills. So for this reason, it's effective when you refer to projects that you've completed in your cover letter. You can hyperlink in the letter to those projects that are housed in your e-portfolio. And also during an interview, you can discuss projects in your portfolio or e-portfolio and invite your interviewer to check back on your portfolio for further information. So, one of the good things to put in a portfolio or e-portfolio is hobbies and passions. So often applicants believe that their portfolio should only include academic or professional work, but the truth is that sometimes activities that happen outside of the job or office are just as significant, if not more. So being part of a club, volunteering, playing a sport, traveling, all these things can endorse an individual for qualities and skills like discipline, collaboration, persistence, resilience, curiosity, and intercultural awareness. So really, each item in your portfolio should tell a story about your accomplishments and how the learning and skills that you've acquired took place. So for this reason, portfolios can give applicants an edge and persuade hiring managers that they're the most qualified candidates for the job. Portfolios and e-portfolios, creating them can be a process. So, it can help you reflect back on learning and help you maybe discover some new interests. And the most important thing is that it's a product. It shows off your work too. All right, so hopefully you've enjoyed watching this presentation. And just a quick recap. So resumes, should have things like contact information, career objectives, work experience, references, cover letters. Uh, Really, the main purpose of a cover letter is to interest an employer in reading your resume. And then portfolios and e-portfolios, again, is a good way to visually represent things that you've described in your resume, and it's just a great way to sell yourself to an employer. So hopefully you've enjoyed this presentation, and thank you for watching.